Good evening. My name is Chen Chun Sao. Today I would like to present the title of Conceptualizing Procedural Unfairness. Contracting party consists of two parties, which having a common interest in a transaction of a subject matter. In general, after both parties have come to a meeting of mind or mutual agreement, therefore, a formation of contract, which consists of the term and condition which to secure both party interests has arrived. However, it is not always happen in consumer contract, which is the supplier always become upper hand or dominant because of standard form contract. In layman term, it is a contract between two parties where the term and condition of the contract are set by one of the party and left the other party has little or no ability to negotiation or bargain. Procedural unfairness, in simple explanation, refers to a situation where the supplier have unjust advantage or the consumer suffer an unjust disadvantages. The issue is to what extent consumer has the strength to negotiation for better terms and free choice of the stipulated terms of contract. The insert of Part 3A Unfair Contract Terms in Consumer Protection Act 1999 in 1st February 2011 make tremendously changing of the atmosphere in our country. By virtue of the said new insert statute provision has created the concept of procedural unfairness, which separated with substantive unfairness. Section 24C of Consumer Protection Act 1999 is a non-exhaustive clause, and under that subsection 2A until K, striving to explain 11 factors or circumstances of procedural unfairness for the court and tribunal be a guideline in deciding the issue or unfair contract term in the ambit of the procedural unfairness. Among that provision, Section 24C 2G show a special provision which considers fitness of state of mind of consumer when enter into the contract. In terms of capacity and soundness of mind, there are two important insertions in the said subsection 1 and 2 of the said provision, which is subsection 1 taking into account whether the consumer even have capacity and soundness mind still does not have reasonably able to protect their interests, and subsection 2 take into consideration of whether the consumer suffers serious disadvantages due to unable to appreciate adequately the contract or term of the contract, or in implication by the reason of age, sickness, or physical, mental, educational, or linguistic disability, or emotional distress, or ignorance of business affairs. Both subsection 1 and 2 are operating independently, which means either a circumstance fall under the situation 1 or 2, the effect of the contract will be unenforceable or void, or to what extent and what manner the remaining term of the contract can be enforced or given to effect to. In a nutshell, procedural unfairness happens when, in the midst of forming the term and condition for a contract, there are lack of just, fairness, and equal. For instance, a consumer buy a product from a supplier, where the standard form contract so already make terms and conditions, which is a lack of transparency or lack of bargaining power or lack of choice or other disparity which cause a detriment to a consumer. Conclusion. Part 3A in Consumer Protection Act 1999 consists of extremely and extensive counter the procedural unfairness, which deemed to curb the unfairness. This great approach is adopted from the Indian Law Commission approach by dividing unfairness into two separate components, which are procedural and substantive. However, this approach is only a proposal in India and has not been implemented yet. Therefore, its effectiveness could not be ascertained yet. Furthermore, despite of this long draft of this provision, obviously are not entirely clear and easy to understand. Nevertheless, it is a great attempt of legislative to enhance the right of the consumer and to some extent as to putting an end of unfairness term in consumer contract. On the other hand, the said provision surely give effect to the supplier a caution in drafting term and contract more diligent and fairness. Thank you very much.